Good afternoon YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we're going to be fitting clip-ons to my 2016 Yamaha R1M. For those that saw the introduction video, I was really struggling with the comfort, getting pins and needles in my fingers. It just feels way too harsh for road use, which is mainly what this bike's for. So today I'm going to show you how to fit a set of Yamaha GYTR, which is the genuine Yamaha ones, and the process involved. So stay tuned. As you can probably see, these bars certainly sit a lot wider than the stock one. I've had a quick look and they do appear to sit slightly higher as well, which we'll show in a clip shortly as I undo the top yoke. Now, the instruction manual that comes with it is pretty vague, but everything it needs to be really. We're going to have to remove this and obviously reinstall the new revised tubes and bars on there. So pretty straightforward. It comes with all the torque settings. It does mention that we're going to have to drill into these tubes as well to get the position, and then obviously set up the angle that you want, as these aren't going to be like the stock ones where these are actually fixed on the standard bike by these screws here, which stop any movement or adjustment using those. But we'll have a look at that now and get this all stripped down and taken apart, and hopefully we can reuse the original brake reservoir, as there is talk of that not being suitable, but I'm not sure why, because I'm not going to be moving it too much further, and we've still got a bit of movement and play on that reserve feed there. Another thing to note is look at the wear marker on the bar end. You can see where I've had my hand over on the grip, whereas you should be there, but as I'm struggling with the width, I'm actually rubbing away at the coating, and I've done the same on the other side as well. If that focuses on it, you can see there as well, it's just rubbing it all away. So I'm going to try and get the use of the original bar ends back in again. I'll obviously rotate them round so that you don't have the wear marks on them, and fingers crossed I can come up with a solution to get them to fit the aftermarket clip-ons. The first look with the replacement GYTR ones laid just on top of the fork tube to give you an idea of the angle and the length. Obviously a considerable amount longer, and as can be seen, less aggressive as the new one now sweeps up, whereas you can see the original sweeps off down. I believe the original to be around 10 degrees and this one to be 6, but obviously not a massive difference. Once you lower that down, it's just going to make it a little bit easier on the wrists and hopefully provide that comfort I'm seeking. With the original clip-ons removed, you should now have the following items on your bench. Now, top tip I would always give, which is something I'm quite particular with, is I always remove everything in an order and put it on the bench in the way it came apart. And especially on a job like this, you can easily then just put it all back together with the head bearings, and then obviously the top yoke clamp, bar ends, clutch lever, it's all in the order that it came apart. And as we showed in that clip, there is a visible difference obviously in the length and the angle to hopefully improve the comfort. They're also a little bit more forward on the setup with the aftermarket GYTR ones, which I'm really looking forward to trying. So what we're next going to do is remove the rubber throttle grip tube. Now a lot of people I'm sure will just cut this off. I want to reuse the original one. I'm not fussed about buying a new one if we can save this one. So the top tip I normally do is use a small flathead screwdriver, a really tiny one, to work inside the angle, and then put some WD-40 down there, break off the adhesive, and you can normally carefully slide that original grip off, and then obviously it's going to match back on the throttle tube that goes back on the new clip-on. Something that isn't ideal with these is they don't come pre-drilled. Now the reason I say that is inside the switchgear you've got these small dowels, let's see if I can get the camera to focus, there we go, that will stop these sitting flush, because it's what stops them spinning on the bar itself. So you can probably just see I've got a little bit of marker pen there. See if the camera will focus on that. It's not going to do it. I've got a dot here, so this is the edge. I've measured it back. Ultimately, if you get it wrong, obviously you can rotate this tube because it's just undone from the end here. But if you drill this hole and you want to rotate it, again, you can just undo it and spin it around to where you want it to be. So I've roughly marked it out. I'm going to put it in the drill now. Hopefully that is spot on for how I want it to sit on the switch gear. But again, if you do make a mistake on the hole, obviously you can undo the tube, rotate it 180 degrees, and it's not going to cause you any issue. So that's what we're going to try and do now. And fingers crossed, I'll get this right first time. Initial impressions look good. From the end on the left hand side for the clutch lever side, it looks like I've gone with 170mm. Obviously you can completely tailor yours to how you want, but hopefully that measurement will help someone looking just to go like I have. But yeah, let's get that all back together and see if I've got it right. In terms of alignment, this is going to be a very personal thing. So as you saw there, we did up the big bolt, which looking online looks like about 82 foot-pounds, which I think is about 105 newton meters, but there's a close-up of the gauge there just to torque that top nut off. Now, in terms of keeping an eye on your adjustment, your original ones were fixed on these bolts, so they couldn't change, or they could if you lose the bolt or removed it. But on these, you've got these 4 little cutouts. And what I've done is, you can't actually see it, but on the 4th one, I've got it just poking through there. And I've done that on both sides, because there's the old tale of measuring it from the bar to the tank. But if you've got the steering wheel, or the handlebars even, sorry, just a smidge off, that's going to be completely out. So for me, those markings have actually worked really well on there. Just where I've got a small bit of visibility on the 4th one. You can see 1, 2, 3, and the 4th is just literally hanging out there. We can now do these up to 20 newton meters, do these up to 20 newton meters, and then these clamps up to 20 newton meters as well. And that's it, the setup is finished. It certainly feels a lot wider sat on the bench. I'm really excited to get it out on the road. Only things to note, obviously you can't use these bolts again. You could put a nut on the bottom if you wanted them in there just for cosmetics. This hose is stretched to the brake reservoir, so I will need to order a longer one because it's quite tight, which I'm not 100% sold on. I get a slight bit of contact on here on the inside on full handlebar lock. And obviously now where the throttle assembly has been pulled further back, it's also lifting the throttle. So I need to undo the linkage, which I've pulled the sleeve back, and adjust that. But free play on the clutch all feels fine. I managed to adjust all that out. So yeah, next report will be on the road, and fingers crossed I can come back with positive news, but it certainly feels massive to hold. Hopefully in the next video, I'll be able to report back a solution for mounting the original bar ends, as I do prefer the look of them. So I'm gonna have a look and see if there's a way of making some sort of adapter in the thread in there so that we can then use the original end bar end on there. But yeah, project bike life, and need to get out on the road. Thankfully, a solution was found for using the standard bar ends, which was simply chopping down an M18 by 1.5mm lambda sensor bung. I put it in the vise, drilled a nice little hole through it, tapped a 6mm thread, and it fitted absolutely perfectly. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If so, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and do consider subscribing to the channel, as we've got plenty more to come on the R1. Until next time, thanks for watching.